Hi everyone, this is Devshri, a psychologist, a coach, and India's top UPSC CSE educator. Today in this video, I am going to discuss about motivation, which is one of the most common issues a lot of students report. They are finding it extremely difficult to stay focused, they are not feeling motivated, rather different distractions in their life are actually demotivating them. Let's understand first of all what motivation is. See, motivation basically refers to the inner drive or desire that compels an individual to take action towards achieving a particular goal or fulfilling a specific need. Now, it is the force that energizes, directs, and sustains your behavior towards a particular outcome which you have been desiring for some time. Now, motivation tends to arise from both internal factors, or you can say internal motivators, or it can be external factors or external motivators. Now, internal factors can be like your personal values, it can be like your beliefs, your goals, and external factors can be like rewards, recognition, social pressure, or social push which you are getting from people. Now, the level and intensity of motivation can actually vary from person to person and can be influenced by various factors again. It includes individual differences, or you can say the task at which you are, working, the environment in which you are operating. All of these factors and other factors like your emotional situation, or to what degree you are able to tolerate things emotionally, physically. There can be physical stressors, there can be emotional stressors, there can be mental stressors, and a lot of these things tend to affect your motivation levels too. So all the aspirants out there giving their best to excel in UPSC CSE should know about keeping their motivation in check and ensuring a degree of smoothness which persists in the preparation phase. Now, people will have their unique ways of staying motivated, and knowing your source of motivation can be extremely useful for you in that regard. There are two relevant types, as mentioned earlier, like internal factors or external factors. We specifically talk about these two types of motivation which are relevant to the current discussion. Otherwise, there are a lot of types of motivation. So, limiting it to the scope of discussion, one is intrinsic motivation and the second one is extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is the type of motivation which is basically coming from within. So it comes from your own self. In any individual, when they are driven by the factors like their satisfaction matters to them, or what they are focusing on matters to them, what they are accomplishing matters to them, or there is a need or a desire to learn something new, when these things are of prior, or highest importance, then we consider it under intrinsic motivation. On the other hand, when you talk about extrinsic motivation, this is the one which comes from external factors, like someone giving you a reward for one of your accomplishment, people recognizing you for something, or any other kind of pressure which you are experiencing. Now, to pursue goals like UPSC CSE, one has to be resilient, you have to be persevere, and you have to stay motivated for longer durations. Just relying on extrinsic motivation is not going to work for you. Completely depending on intrinsic motivation is not going to work for you. One thing you should always remember, that it is going to be and it should always be a fine balance of intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, and it should be more inclined towards intrinsic motivation. That is, you can say, in a way, is the right recipe to ensure that you are able to achieve success in such dedicated goals. Now, it is very simple to understand that we should have these kinds of motivations. But finding the exact source of motivation, or which particular motivation is working for you, can be challenging at times, especially for beginners. So, what you can do is, when you realize that you are stuck at a point or you are experiencing demotivation, you should use the following tips to find out your motivation source. Number one, identify your values and your goals. Always knowing that what is important and what you want to achieve can help you find your motivation. Reflect on your values and set clear and specific goals that align with them. Number two, break down your goals. Sometimes goals can feel overwhelming, which a lot of students feel with UPSC exam as well. But what you need to remember is that that happens for a brief point of time. After that, you are again going to be normal with what you want and how much effort you want to put for the same. So, when you feel that your goals are appearing overwhelming and it is leading to demotivation, please break your goals into smaller, more manageable tasks that can be accomplished in a shorter period. Now, this is something which can be done with great ease. You just need to have a complete idea about your big goals and then divide it into sub goals. Take small elements or steps of that as your sub goals, and that is what you are supposed to do. You'll be sorted here. This also helps you in attaining that sense of accomplishment, and it keeps you motivated. Number three, surround yourself with positivity. Always surround yourself with positive and supportive people. Many a times I have seen people tend to undermine that. Many people are surrounded by toxic people, and many a times people are so much in isolation, they're so much aloof, and they feel they're completely independent and they do not want anyone around. Now, both the situations are pretty common. Both the situations, the kind of emotions you are going through are also understandable. But again, there has to be a fine balance between these things. Having few people around you is still fine, but having people who are more supportive and are giving some degree of positivity to you is something which is extremely required. So always ensure that you are surrounded by people who are good in nature, who are supportive, and who are bringing in something positive to your life. This can again help you stay motivated and focused on your goals, because the interaction you are having with your environment is not taking away your energy. Rather, it gives you a sense of satisfaction, and sometimes it tends to enhance your motivation because your interactions have been really good and your overall experience with people is good. Now, this technically is helping you in your interpersonal relationships, and interpersonal relationships are again a very important component of your happiness. More happy you are, you will see that your motivation levels will also be enhanced accordingly. Number four, celebrate your progress. Many a times we just want to achieve things and forget about things, achieve and forget. It's very important that you recognize what you have accomplished and you celebrate those accomplishments. And accomplishments need not be extremely big or huge, right? It can be a small achievement of the day. When you're feeling low, especially, it is very important that you identify your accomplishment and you are cherishing it, you are celebrating it. Does not matter how small they may seem. This can help boost your energies, your mental attitude, your motivation level, and this is again going to make you feel extremely confident, and this is very much needed in order to keep going. Number five, focus on the benefits. When you are struggling to find motivation, always and always remind yourself that it is perspective which is very important. Many a times we tend to ignore our perspectives, or many a times we tend to get stuck with a particular perspective which might not be favorable to us. It happens again and again. Similar kind of factors like individual differences, social pressure, emotional situations tend to play a very big role in the same. But you have to tell yourself and at least try to put in some conscious effort in identifying the benefits in a situation and see what is good or what is best about it, what is good about your particular goal. Now, this can help you stay focused and motivated even when you are facing challenges. So in the face of challenges, it is very important that you are not getting derailed because of the negative thoughts or the negative energies. Rather, you are putting in your best in order to ensure that you remain focused, and because you are seeing the positive side of it. So it's perspective and the mental set you carry that also determines how you are going to act, and it is also going to determine the outcome or the results associated. So it is very important that you look at the brighter side. Point number 6, find inspiration. Look for inspiration from wherever you can find it. It can be from books, It can be from movies, it can be from music, or people who are around you. People who have achieved really big things, people who have achieved very small but meaningful things, things that matter to you, something which you cherish. It is not important that you will only be motivated, or do not assume that your only motivation is going to come by seeing toppers video because they are the ones who have successfully achieved their goal. Motivation can come from anywhere, from any individual. It can come from any source. It is completely dependent on how you are looking at things and what exactly you want to achieve. That is extremely important. So when you are aware of the fact that XYZ is the kind of domain wherein I feel more connected or attached to, jahan bhi, wherever your emotions are more inclined, you will always find that your inspiration or your motivation comes from that particular angle. So try to explore that, identify it, and then use it for yourself. Now, when you are getting inspired either from your own achievements or from someone else's achievements or any fictional stories as well, that's perfectly fine. Anything, whatever, or that keeps you going is the most important aspect. Identify that and bring that into your life, and try to revisit that inspiration as much as you can. Now, it is not that you become dependent on that. I've seen many a time students tend to get dependent on this. That doesn't work in your favor. Please avoid that, ignore that, not useful. You have to take inspiration when you are not able to do anything, or when you feel that you are stuck and you cannot do anything. Please remember that finding inspiration does not mean becoming dependent on some source of motivation or inspiration. It is only good in required amount of doses. Overdose of it is not going to work, because energy will be pumped up but action won't happen. We need to get inspired, we need to act, we need to engage in the right behavior so that we are moving closer to our goals. So find your inspiration, make it a part of your life, visit or revisit it accordingly. This is something which is going to give you tremendous amounts of ideas to overcome the obstacles you are experiencing in terms of your preparation. Always remember that motivation comes from within, and finding your source may take time and effort. Keep trying different strategies until you find what works best for you. In case you want to contact, you can directly reach out to me, and do like, share, and share the video, and please comment in the comment section in case you are looking for any other specific topic to resolve your queries. Thank you so much, everyone.